Hello. Today I'm going to invite us into some brain integration and emotional release techniques. We'll begin seated. So just make your way to a seated position. It could be in a chair, it could be on the floor, it could be cross-legged, it could be whichever way you are able to rest into a meditation. We'll begin by just checking in with where we are now, how we have arrived to this moment in this video, and in this meditation, we're going to engage immediately into our sensory responses, sensory nerve responses, by crossing our hands and placing our left hand on our right calf, ankle, and placing our right hand on our left calf, ankle, and just finding ourselves in this involutionary position. This is a position that invites us to engage into our sensory nerves and ultimately invites us in an inward motion to go inside of our being, of our makeup, and we will begin here in this form. And if you are seated and if your legs aren't crossed, just make, wherever you are, cross your hands on either leg and just place them with the intention of this inward movement as we meditate. So go ahead and just start to close your eyes and just take a moment to settle in to your body, to acknowledge your mind field, to start to listen to your heart. Always just checking in, taking note of the breath, not controlling anything here, just simply noticing how you are settling in this moment. As we go along in our practice today, always acknowledging this ability to really tune into your inner smile, find the smile within as you meet the qualities as you are now. If you're noticing a feeling or a thought that's reoccurring, just allow yourself to drop into this moment and let go. Let go of making sense of anything. Let go of understanding that which is streaming through you at this time. Just come into noticing and just simply being in this moment where you are, seated, breathing. Slowly, when you're ready, we're just going to engage a little bit more into this inward awareness and sensory exploration by placing our hands on our bellies and just begin to deep breathe all the way through your belly. I find it helpful to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, expanding the lower abdomen as you breathe in. Letting go. As you exhale through the mouth, just imagine anything that's been causing upset or any stagnation that you've been swimming in or feeling stuck around. Just acknowledge any difficult situations that have been coming up for you, whether with your friends or family or perhaps even just of the climate of the world right now. Just imagine breathing out all of the tension, all of the upset surrounding any of these current circumstances for you as you expand the belly, breathing in. Breathing out, letting out a groan, a sound, with a deep exhale through the mouth, just letting go of any internal tension that is lingering for you now. And slowly we're going to begin to stimulate ourselves here a little bit more. So now coming out, moving more in an outward direction, just experiencing another degree of sensation leading from our sensory nerves to our motor nerves. So here, placing our left hand on our forehead and our right hand on our belly. Just here is my belly button. And we want to place our hand where we have our belly button and we have our hand sort of framing between the thumb and the first finger around the belly button. And then we place the left hand on the forehead and just begin to rock your belly a bit, just stimulating. And here with the rock, just kind of checking in with yourself. Do you want a fast, stimulating touch here? Building heat, very activating, very energizing? Or are you looking for more of a deep, penetrating rock that's more, really draws up a lot of emotional goo-goo muck? Maybe experiment with the way you're rocking. It doesn't have to be one direction as much as it is. Just find the direction that you feel is best for you. And just take some time here to rock your belly. We're accessing some major energy here. This is a very potent portal on the body. All meridians pass through this point in the body. This is a very, energetically speaking, this is a major hub where when we begin to access it, we begin to really contact a deep sense of sustained energy that we have innate within us all. Just rocking, kind of playing with that and finding a still point. And as you pause, just notice the energy traveling through your hands, through your body, noticing the sensations. If any emotion is coming up, allow that through. Allow yourself to make sound. Allow yourself to release any feelings that have come forward and sit with that, noticing, just allowing it to move through. Using your breath to let go each exhale. And continuing with the stimulation, we're going to now go into more of a direct motor nerve activation. So we've done this before. This is a cosmic egg. So here we're just going to do a kind of a variation with it. So we're not lifting off today, but we're just going to bend the knees and just allow yourself to come into this position with the knees bent. And now we're going to use our hands to clasp behind our necks at the base of the skull where it meets the neck on the occiput. And here we're just going to slowly pull our neck and our neck down, chin to chest. Big, deep breaths. Slowly coming out of that, and we're going to just make our way to some windshield wipers. So we're going to slowly allow yourself to go to the floor, or if you're in a chair, maybe find something like a bed, something where you can begin to lay down easily. And rolling ourselves onto our bellies. Some more activation here for the now more direct to the left and right hemispheres and integrating in the whole body. So laying on your belly, go ahead and make a little hole with your hand so you can place your forehead in between this hole so you're supported as you rest your head down. And we're just going to begin to cross our legs here, creating windshield wipers. And we're crisscrossing. So as we go along, we bring one leg behind the other as we cross, and then we switch and do the opposing leg behind the other. So we're switching which leg goes behind, crisscrossing. and really focusing to kick on the out motion, kick on the out motion, and allow the legs to just kind of drop in on the inward motion. So as we go out, we kick, out, we kick, out, we kick, and we just fall inward. And just do this for as much as feels right for you. We're really exercising opening the hip joint and stimulating release around the sacrum. And coming to a pause here, we're going to allow ourselves to slowly flip again back, this time to our back. So we're just going to roll over. So we're on our backs. And here I have some ideas written. Let's see how they fit here. Okay. Here we're going to go into a polarity nervous system balancing technique. So more integration as we begin to activate these nerve responses, everything from the motor to the sensory to looking at the left and right brain hemispheres becoming more and more coherent. These techniques, such as where we step into now, where we engage the whole body and look at pathways along the system, will allow us to become coherent through the entire system and acknowledge that integration from the top of the head to the toes in our energetic field and beyond. So here we are, we're going into the 5-pointed star, and we're just going to find ourselves here resting in butterfly position. We're going to allow our feet to come together and our knees to fall outward. And, if you need some support, always bringing that in wherever you may need it. Maybe placing pillows under your knees if you're needing that kind of support in butterfly here. And ultimately, we're going to take our left hand and place it on our right shoulder, then our right hand and place it on our left hip. And here we're just going to feel for the connection from the hip to the shoulder. Sometimes you can feel a pulse at both points. Sometimes you can feel heat transferring from both points. Sometimes you can feel the current all the way along the line from the hip across the body to the shoulder. The idea here is to hold these points until you feel complete. And as you feel complete, we will lift up our left hand and we'll place that on our sternum. Same thing here, just acknowledging sensation and holding these points until you feel complete, looking for a deep settling in the nervous system and deep settling for emotional balancing. We want to be relaxed, so if you find, like I do now, that my elbow's floating and I'm kind of trying to prop myself here with my elbow so I don't feel like I have to work as I hold these points and I can just notice sensation. always using the breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, letting go of any tension, any heaviness that you're experiencing. Just let it out through the breath. And as you feel complete, then we will take our left hand and place it on our right hip, and our right hand and place it on our left shoulder. Noticing sensation, holding these points until you feel complete. And when you feel complete, lifting your right hand and placing it on your sternum, the top of your chest. And slowly, just allowing your hands to fall to your sides. And just slowly lifting, bringing the knees together, and taking some windshield wipers. Some new integration that I just found today. Again, back to the idea of getting the left and right brain hemispheres working together, as well as bringing a deep sense of calm and safety for the nervous system, allowing emotional wellness, allowing emotional balancing, allowing a space where emotions are free to move through. If there has been any stuck or held or buried emotion, these fields that we generate through these movements assist in allowing them to feel free to move up and out and through, and therefore having more availability to the moment around how we may be and how we may respond to anything there. So here we are integrating once again, crossing the legs. Doesn't matter which is where, just cross the legs and go ahead and cross the arms as well. And let's take it a one step further here. So we'll take the hands out and down so we have them straight as we're laying here with our legs crossed. And we're going to cross the hands, have the palms facing each other, interlace the fingers. So now we are then rotating the elbow. We're going to just swing our hands through, and for a lack of better words, just check out the video for how that just happened. But we're gonna sit here crossing our hands in this position for a moment. Just imagine the brain fully activated, communicating from the left and right hemisphere, just glowing, speaking as one. Imagine a white glowing light around the brain, connecting down through the body to the heart, and radiating through all of our senses, all of our nerves to our fingertips, generating availability to our senses and responses to stimuli by causing protection. Here, this pose is actually giving us inward stimulation, so we're kind of giving a closed position here. We're closing our own circuits, so we're not receiving external stimuli. We're becoming aware of our internal state. Calming our senses, stepping out of overwhelm. And slowly, when you're ready, we'll uncross the feet and arms, and once again come into integration for the currents being open and available to sensation again. So from external forces here, we bring our fingertips together and we rest our elbows and just take a moment to notice sensation here. Do this until you feel complete, until you feel a deep settling. And slowly, when you're ready, we're going to come into constructive rest pose. So we bring our feet flat, our knees are bent, and we're just going to reach, lift our legs and and reach our hands behind our thighs and just begin to rock ourselves here a little bit, rocking up and down. And here, we're going to use the rock to lift ourselves to a seated position. So just keep rocking until you get momentum and you can roll up onto your sit bones. And once we are here, welcome back to seated. We're just going to do a little bit of experimenting with breathing once again. So nostril breathing. We're going to bring in more stimulation again. So internally, and just see how it may influence our focus and our concentration and our brain, and bringing coherency to our functions and our systems through our brain and our heart and through our nerve endings. So here we are going to do alternative nostril breathing. So we're going to use our pointer finger and our middle finger and our thumb, and we're going to just explore this a bit. So we'll begin by plugging the left nostril and breathing in through the right, breathing out through the right, plugging the right nostril, breathing in through the left, breathing out through the left. Could do a few rounds of this. So breathing in, plugging the left, breathing in through the right, plugging the right, plugging the left, allow yourself to find your own pace. Just a few more breaths here, still alternating, finding your rhythm. Just engaging in this breath until you feel a shift in your energy, till you feel calm. You know, as we've gone along in these movements, we've been stimulating and soothing and stimulating and soothing very subtly for brain activation and nerve response. So I find the nostril breathing works very quickly when we've already invigorated with these other exercises and soothed. So as you find, this is a tool you can do anywhere at any point, you know, not while driving, And anytime you have a moment to take in, you feel kind of out of sorts, just take a moment to drop in and use that breathing to really bring you into your senses and your environment and beyond. So here we're going to continue with another little experiment. This is also new to me today. So we're going to look at some eye engagement for brain activation. I know for me, I struggle with reading. Sometimes I have to read a page like 4 times over in order to understand what I'm reading, or to really and digest the words. I find I see blank spots as much as I have a hard time following line by line words and letters. So for me, so this is an interesting exercise that's new to me, that is to engage the eyes and generate again more focus and concentration in the sense of the eyes from the brain response, and has been proven to help people have more ease in reading when there is difficulty there. So interesting. Here we go. We're going to make a figure 8 and follow that. So here I am with my thumb coming just below in front of my nose. And here we're going to make a big figure 8. They call it the lazy 8. This isn't about perfection. This is just about following the thumb in a roughly an 8, roughly the shape of an 8 in a horizontal. So like the infinity symbol. So here we're looking at our thumbnail in front of our nose. I'm going to face the camera more head on. Okay, on my thumb. And here we go up to make the 8, up from the midline, and then down and around. We're not moving our head. Our eyes are following our thumb. And we're making an 8, crossing at the nose. Wow. Already spatially, I'm out of control. This is fabulous. I'm continue to invite us to explore this movement, the figure 8, just acknowledging we're not moving the head, we're moving the eyes. And we're following the thumbnail, making an 8. Maybe you're noticing weak points in your eyes. I know for me, I'm noticing when I go up and to the right, it's very difficult for me to sustain a visual on the thumbnail. And then we'll begin to just engage with both hands. Making a figure 8. Whoa. Hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I. As much as my eyes, I. Yeah, it's really intense for me, so I'm gonna have to take a break and come off it there. All right? So here we'll go ahead and just kind of prepare ourselves to come to standing. So however you make your way there, just slowly take your time. I feel as though I have new eyes. So just moving slowly, we'll begin to stand. I'm gonna change the height of this so we can see what's going on. All right. All right, had to change positions there. We're standing. Hello, we've standing. We've made it to standing. And this is our last piece that we'll do for balance and bringing coherency into the left and right hemispheres. And through our senses, we offer ourselves availability to connect to each moment with all that we've got. So here, this is again a full integration into some movement as well as some eye movement and sound. So here, this is the cross crawl technique. So we'll just start by getting our heads wrapped around what we're about to do. So here we're lifting our knee and we're making contact with our opposite hand. Okay. And then with this movement, we're going to now begin to look up and to the left, look up to the sky, look up to the right, and begin to notice as you cross which areas as you look up are more difficult and which ones are more easy for you to do this movement. And when you find the area which you're looking that's easiest for you to do the movement, so then you hold your eyesight there. Okay, and now just taking a moment to give your eyes a rest and finding the moment again, standing. Now we'll begin to offer another technique, balancing the other direction. So here we're lifting like a puppet. We're lifting our arms and our legs at the same time, same arm, same leg. And this time we're looking down. So look where you found it to be easiest. When you look up, go ahead and start to look down the opposite direction. Whoa. And for further integration here, we can offer some humming. Repatterning. Not always easy, but not always for the faint of heart, and certainly strength building for our balance and our nervous system. I'm going to try this again. Go any speed that suits you. This isn't a race, this is an exploration. You might hear my vibrations quivering. I'm going to tell you right now that quivering's coming from my psoas. I did a bicycle race and then a run like a mad woman last weekend. So here we are, just still unraveling from the muscles I used. And it's incredible the way my body is responding even at this time. Deeper integration, we continue every day. So here, now, one last movement for us is to open our arms wide. Imagine in the right hand you're holding the right hemisphere of your brain. Imagine on the left hand, you're holding the left hemisphere of your brain. And slowly bringing our hands together as if we are bringing together our brain in a coherency. We're intertwining our fingers, coming together, and we're holding our hands with this metaphor of our brain holding itself as one, in coherency, in open communication with all of its parts. Just taking a moment here to breathe into this. And I would say actually keep your eyes open if you're able. And hold this until you feel complete. Allowing the inner smile to come through. I hope you enjoyed this exploration with me today, and I hope it serves you well for days to come. Be well.